The Curse of the Moon Goddess. A village faces unnatural events every full moon. The village of Silverhollow was known for its serene beauty, a quiet town nestled between the mountains and dense forests of Maine. But peace was a fleeting luxury. Every full moon, the air grew heavy with unease, and the villagers locked themselves away before the moonlight could touch them. Unnatural things occurred on those nights. Animals would flee into the woods, crops would wilt as though poisoned, and shadows danced on their own. People whispered of a curse brought upon them by the moon goddess, Silana, a deity worshipped in ancient times, but long forgotten in the age of modernity. Tales passed down for generations spoke of an unfulfilled pact with the goddess. Each month, the villagers paid the price for their ancestors' betrayal, but no one dared to question the origin of the curse or how to stop it. Among the townsfolk was a young woman named Elise, an orphan raised on the outskirts. She was the subject of much gossip. People whispered that her presence on the cursed nights brought bad luck. Her pale complexion and sharp green eyes were said to mirror the goddess herself, fueling rumors of a sinister connection. For years, Elise endured the whispers and the avoidance, but deep down, she always felt a strange pull whenever the moon reached its peak. On the eve of her 18th birthday, Elise couldn't ignore the call any longer. That night, as the moon began to rise, she ventured into the woods, drawn by an otherworldly hum that seemed to echo from the trees. The forest was alive in a way she had never experienced before. The air shimmered and strange runes began to glow faintly along the bark of the trees. She followed the sound deeper, her heartbeat quickening with each step. At the heart of the forest, she stumbled upon an ancient altar made of moonstone. Symbols of the moon goddess adorned its surface, radiating a soft silver light. The sight filled her with awe and terror. As she approached, her hand brushed against the cold stone, and a vision overtook her. She saw glimpses of her ancestors bowing before the moon goddess, making promises they couldn't keep. And then she saw herself, standing as she was now, but surrounded by shadows, her reflection in the moonlit pool shifting into something monstrous. The vision ended as abruptly as it began, leaving Elise gasping for breath. She knew then that the whispers were true. The curse wasn't just tied to the village, it was tied to her. Back at her small cottage, Elise tore through every old book and diary she could find. Her parents had left little behind when they died, but among the keepsakes was a journal written by her mother. The entries spoke of a pact made centuries ago by their bloodline to gain the goddess's favor. In exchange for power and protection, the family had sworn eternal loyalty to Silana, but over time, they abandoned their worship and the pact was broken. The curse was not a punishment for the village. It was retribution for her family's betrayal. Elise's blood carried the weight of that broken oath, and the goddess demanded repayment. Determined to end the suffering, Elise returned to the forest under the next full moon. This time she climbed the jagged cliffs leading to the ancient temple of Silana. The closer she got, the more the air thickened, the moonlight bathing her in an unnatural glow. At the summit, the temple awaited, a circle of moonstone pillars surrounding a glowing pool. The energy was palpable, and the shadows seemed to move with a will of their own. Elise, a voice echoed, soft and melodic, yet filled with power. From the center of the pool, the figure of the moon goddess emerged. Silana was breathtaking, her silver hair flowing like liquid light, her eyes as piercing as the stars. "You've come at last, child of the Oath Breakers," Silana said, her voice cutting through Elise like a blade. Elise swallowed her fear. I didn't break the oath. I had no part in it. Why punish the innocent? Silana smiled, a cruel twist of her lips. Your blood carries the debt. It matters not who committed the sin, only that it remains unpaid. But you've come willingly, and for that, I will offer you a choice. Silana raised a hand, and visions filled the air. Elise saw herself transformed, wielding unimaginable power, commanding the elements and bending the world to her will. But the cost was clear. Her humanity, her soul, her very self would belong to Silana forever. Accept my power, Silana said, her voice tempting and dangerous, and your village will be freed from the curse. You will become my eternal servant, but their suffering will end, or refuse, and their torment will continue for all time. Tears streamed down Elise's face. The weight of the choice crushed her. To sacrifice herself for the village meant becoming the very thing she feared, a pawn of the goddess. But to refuse meant condemning innocent lives. Elise closed her eyes, her mind racing. Then she remembered something her mother had written in her journal. The goddess's power is tied to the altar. Destroy it, and the cycle may end. With newfound resolve, Elise reached into her satchel and pulled out a moonstone dagger she had found in the temple ruins. Silana's eyes widened in anger as Elise charged toward the altar. You dare defy me? The goddess roared, her form flickering with rage. Elise didn't hesitate. She plunged the dagger into the altar's center, and a deafening crack echoed through the temple. The runes shattered, the glowing pool turned black, and Silana let out a piercing scream as her form dissolved into mist. When Elise returned to Silverhollow, the village was quiet, but there was no fear in the air. The crops were vibrant, the animals calm. The curse had lifted. For the first time in her life, Elise felt a sense of belonging. She had broken the cycle, not just for herself, but for the village and for her ancestors. Though the moon goddess was gone, her mark remained on Elise. But now, it was a reminder not of fear, but of strength.